am now heading for Jérémy, which is home to one of the largest bear sanctuaries in the world. It is home to 88 bears, all victims of abuse, who now live a free and easy life there. On my way there, I hear about a mountain village where a bear is kept in a cage. I'm in a sort of ski resort. It is out of season, so there's practically no one here. The only year-long resident here is a bear. It is the town's mascot, and its name is Baloo. I think it's this way. There he is. Baloo. This is Baloo. Incredible. That breathing. Lots of people used to keep bears. Bears were picked up by... For a long time, lots of places like this kept bears in captivity. There were people who earned their living from them, and then others who simply wanted a bear at the bottom of the garden. They have always been a symbol of power. People would just appropriate them, and unfortunately, some still do. Bears develop tics and obsessive-compulsive disorders. Look how it always puts its paw in the same holes in the mud. That's why the enclosure has these pits in it. It keeps placing its paws in those holes, and it doesn't look too happy because it's living in a small cage on its own. Seeing it drag its feet in the mud like that, in its own excrement, it's quite sad. You can see the rust dripping down from those poles into the drinking water. This bear has metal on its fur, on its paws, and its saliva. It is living in a really unhealthy environment. She's blowing cigarette smoke into its face. It's desperate for contact, because it's all alone in there. Chin up. You'll get out one day. I feel for Baloo. It's tough seeing him like that. I'd love to be able to open his cage, but that wouldn't even help him. He wouldn't know how to survive in the wild. I try to console myself in a place which, after nightfall, receives some unusual visitors. I'm staying in a hotel which is regularly visited by brown bears who come down from the mountains. I can hear growling. That's incredible. And there are the bears. Amazing, wild bears. So great. To find myself a few meters from brown bears, having spent so long looking for them, is a dream come true. I'm arriving in a very special place. It is a bear sanctuary. Apparently, they take in injured, maltreated or neglected bears who are used to living with humans, and they rehabilitate them here. They won't be returned to the wild, but they will be happy here. There is nowhere else in Europe quite like this. This is incredible. What is this? Is it a control station? What is it for? To prevent bears from escaping or humans intruding?
Intrusions, malicious intent.
What's great about this sanctuary is that it gives them back the freedom that was stolen from them years ago.
Right.
They're released into small enclosures first so that they can get used to having their freedom. And when they arrive, they're all locked in a virtual cage.
That is interesting.
You get bears walking round in circles for ages, despite having almost 80 hectares to play with.
So they stay in a small area because in their minds they're still in captivity.
In their minds, they are in captivity. Freedom has to be learnt too.
Do you see the sanctuary as a necessary evil? Is it about atoning for our mistakes, which, in an ideal world, will
Well said.
never be
It
repeated?
is a necessary evil.
When we release them and we see them head straight for a pool or to climb a tree, then we have a moment of satisfaction. It doesn't last long, because you soon turn your mind to the other bears,
To the other bears that you need to save.
still in captivity.
It's like a poolside restaurant. They get fed here, and behind there is a pond. Here, it is funny how they no longer behave like the herbivores they are. Bears are 80% vegetarians, not the bloodthirsty carnivores you might imagine them to be. In certain seasons, bears do prey on mammals, but mammals form a tiny part of their diet. These bears will never be set completely free because they might approach humans and pose a potential threat. If they did that, they'd be shot. So this is the best solution for them. This bear seems to have quite a life story. It was blinded as a cub by its owner, who pierced its eyes with a needle. Max spent his life on the road, travelling from village to village with a bear leader who put him on show and blinded him so he could pose for tourist photographs. Here we have a bear displaying stereotypical behaviour. Bears who have lived in confined spaces repeat the same movement over and over, like a tick. The most common one is pacing alongside a fence. It might be in straight lines, up and down, or in figures of 8, or around and around in circles, like here. This bear has 7.5 hectares to explore and trees to climb, but it repeats what it has always known, namely a movement learned in a cramped space. This is nice. The sanctuary has come up with a great idea. It has installed beehives with bees producing honey, especially for the bears, so they have their own honey factory. And it is a well-known fact, especially by Winnie the Pooh, that bears like honey. However, it is a less well-known fact that bears eat bees. This is amazing. Anthills are real bear magnets. If you find an anthill in the wild that has been ripped apart, it is often a bear that is to blame. So, here you have a colony of ants. It is actually quite a big one. What is nice about big anthills is the sound they make. It's a sort of rustling sound. That's lovely to see.